You nailed it. Okay, let's roll. Next up, 1 p.m. Eastern, Arizona Cardinals 4-13, 3-5 on the road at Washington Commanders 8-1, 4-5 at home. We're at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. So around this part of the eastern seaboard, there is scattered thunderstorms. They may play a role. They may have nothing. So that's something we got to keep an eye on, and we will keep an eye on. So we'll touch on it Thursday in the Cappers Contest show, and we'll touch on it again, of course, in the NFL Pub Hub Sunday morning, 11 a.m., where we'll have at least 8 different cappers. We gave them 12 minutes last year. Probably work around that, and we track everybody's action. Last year's winner was Bobano. Our first year, the winner was Big Ragu. Cardinals, Commanders, FedEx Field, Landover, Maryland. The Cardinals' season win total is at 3.5. Can they win one? Is the question. To win the NFC West, 25-1. To win the NFC, 125-1. To win the Super Bowl, 250-1. There's our guy Smoking Mirrors in the house. Vincent Hawkins looking at Cardinals team total under first half. And DT just says Commanders next. And when we have these hugely long shows, I hope my guy Troy knows that you can take a break at any time. Apologize for putting him through these marathons. And we'll make them quicker. The shows will get tighter as we move on. Okay, let's go. Harold Williams says Commanders by 20. I mean, do you trust obviously we don't think, well, I don't know. Should we bet the Cardinals to win 0 games this year? It's a realistic question, and I'm very interested to hear what everybody has to say about that, because you get at least 16-1, don't you? 79 Fahrenheit, scattered thunderstorms, 80 Fahrenheit. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Let's start with the spread. Open with the spread for this one. We have the Commanders at -7. 7-point favorites. This is a bad Commanders. Well, let's break it down before I say all these things about the Commanders. But they opened up at -6 and they're now -7. That is juice to the 7, which means that we will probably see a 7.5 on this one. From a total perspective, it is so low. It opened up at 41 and it dropped and dropped. It's at 38. They're 37.5 on the board. So we have a huge move to the under. We have a move towards these Commanders. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this spot. 68% of tickets and 96% of cash is on the under. And now it's extremely low. And we've missed it. 80% of tickets, 79% of cash on the Commanders at -7. So let's start with the Cardinals. Just question marks everywhere. How long will Kyler Murray be out? How bad will the Cardinals be? How many tie hookers did Cliff Kingsbury bang? All valid questions. Kingsbury sent packing after a 4-13 season. DeAndre Hopkins sent packing. J.J. Watt retired. Zach Allen left. And here comes Jonathan Gannon with his work cut out for him and a ton of confidence in what they're doing, which means they're tanking on purpose and wanting to do it. Kyler Murray dealing with the ACL injury. A lot of people saying he's never going to wear a Cardinals jersey again. In fact, a lot of people saying that this is the quarterback for the Commanders next year. They cut Colt McCoy, which is obvious they don't want to win a game or two. Josh Dobbs, 5th-round rookie Clayton Tune, the only 2 quarterbacks on the team's roster. And Gannon hiding the identity of who's going to start as if maybe it will provide them with an advantage. It's likely Dobbs, obviously. He knows offensive coordinator Drew Petzing's system from their time in Cleveland. Whoever is at quarterback has a decent group to pass to. Hollywood Brown, Rondale Moore, Zach Ertz, James Conner at running back. The O-line returns from last season. Now, they were awful last season, but they return. Gannon brings in Nick Rallis from Philadelphia to be the defensive coordinator. He was the linebackers coach. Still has Budda Baker at safety, but they trade Isaiah Simmons for a 7th-round pick last week. So they're going to have Catrell Clark, BJ Ojolari. They're moving Zaven Collins from inside linebacker to outside linebacker. So that's the question. Do we take this team to go 0-17? Take it away for us here, Troy. What are your thoughts on the Arizona Cardinals?
I think that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be probably the worst team in the league, and I don't think it's going to be even close. I think they're in the Caleb Williams lottery. I think that they're going to be tanking straight out the gate. At least that's what it looks like. I mean, how else? What would make you think any differently? They have the worst offensive line in the league, the worst defensive line in the league. This is all per PFF. The worst secondary in the league. It's just not. If I was a fan of the Arizona Cardinals, I'd be fucking pissed off. My hair would be on fire. There's just no way without watching what kind of product we're going to see on Sunday that I can get behind either side. You know, the Commanders at laying a full touchdown and probably moving to 7.5-point favorites. I think it's a little bit much. Maybe you tease the Commanders in a certain way. Yeah, I won't get too much in the Commanders. I know we're going to touch on them, but Cardinals, easy for me. I want nothing to do at this point.
Do you think they go 0-17?
I haven't looked at their schedule enough, but yeah, I couldn't say that. I would bet over 0.5 wins if I could.
Commanders win total at 6.5. What a step back this group has taken. Under 6.5, and it's juiced. NFC East 12-1, NFC 33-1, Super Bowl 66-1, and BJ's already got Steelers +3. Great job getting it, BJ, because 2.5's around. Saturated says, how much better does Bieniemy make the Commies offense? You know, it's interesting because I expect him to be the head coach soon, definitely next year. Dreamboat Ron is giving the keys to the car to Sam Howell. Well, I don't get it, man. 2022 fifth-round pick. He attempted 19 passes as a rookie. And Jacoby Brissett is the fallback plan. Their offensive line was atrocious last year, and are we going to see any improvement? I find that hard to believe that we would. Howell does have weapons in Terry McLaurin, Jane Dotson, Curtis Samuel. McLaurin, it looks like he'll be unavailable week 1. He has a toe injury. He had that in the second preseason game. X-rays came back negative, but some people believe he will be in. I'm not sure if he will be in. They have a nice running back room. You know, Brian Robinson Jr., Antonio Gibson. They are 18-4-1 to the under over the last 23 home games. Obviously, that's being attacked. The Commanders will have a strong defense. 2022, they ranked 9th in defensive DVOA. And then people are saying, oh, well, it's going to be better with Chase Young being back. I have a feeling that Chase Young barely plays this year. They declined his 5th-year option. He's dealing with a stinger he suffered in his first preseason game. They are not going to give him the bag. Why would he hurt himself? Now, you need to play and play well to procure it, but I have a feeling that Chase Young doesn't play very much. They were number 1 in the league on third down, 43 sacks last year. The secondary got even better. I mean, we were all excited to see Emmanuel Forbes out there. Guy looks like a special player. 16th overall out of Mississippi State. A lot of people believe he can win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And, you know, they have weapons everywhere on defense. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, at corners, Benjamin St. Juste, Kendall Fuller, safety Cameron Curl. But this offense, I just don't understand. They have a good football team. And I don't get why they've given the keys to the car to Howell. Take it away for us on these Commanders, Troy.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say that I'm getting a lot of hate, specifically from some of my guys for drinking wine. My pregnant wife got wine laying all over the fucking house, and she can't drink it. Someone's got to drink it. All right, so that just happens to be me.
I had to drink wine last night on our live stream because it was Labor Day and the liquor stores were closed. So
you had to figure something out. I mean, fuck, not going to drink nothing. But yeah, so Commanders. Yeah, like you said, I mean, their defensive side of the ball is fucking impressive. Their defensive line is one of the best defensive lines in the NFL, no doubt about it. They have 4 first-round draft picks on their defensive line, but Chase Young is a little bit of a question, and I kind of tend to agree with you that I don't see him playing very much this year, but we'll see. Offensively, Sam Howell, I've been kind of impressed with him. It's hard to say. I haven't seen enough film on this kid to make any type of real true assessment and give you guys fucking bettable information on Sam Howell. But I've been impressed with what I've seen from Sam Howell. But I don't know how far that goes. To what extent is he good and ready for the NFL? I'm not sure. And he's behind one of the worst offensive lines in the league. So I think that it's pretty much this line at -7. I have it really close at -6, Commanders -6. So if if it crosses that 7, I mean, it's probably a Cardinals or nothing bet. It's gross to say. I'm not going to be betting this game. I guarantee you that. But I think Commanders at -7 is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, Ronnie and Barry say why slow down on Howell. I just don't see it. I don't see it at this point. I think there's a big difference from what he was delivering at North Carolina to what he's going to have to deal with here. So look, I don't want them. I don't want the Commanders at this price, at this number. They're going to probably take control of the game, and that team total under is probably a nice look on the Cardinals, but I don't want them. Let's move on. I think that 6.5 should be juiced to the under for the Commanders. I really do. You have to be able to move the ball offensively. You don't want your defense on the field 38 minutes a game. All right, let's roll on. Vincent Hawkins, his Cards money line. Dobbs cooks them. Vincent Hawkins and Cards go 1-0. Forget 0-17. Let's move on.